So what are you going to show me?
Yeah,
Oh,
this should have come up back when we were talking about care plans. Um, so this is a calculation only going back to 2015 or 16
okay.
of care plan uploads from primary care offices, which is a combination of a clinical summary. It's more of a clinical summary than a plan.
Okay.
It has a plan, but and preferences and advanced directives and who the team members are and all that representative agreement people. Um, so everything in orange were manual uploads to PowerChart through copy paste. So you'd go into PowerChart, set up a new document for the patient, paste the text result. That's why it was handy to stay at a level 1 CDA document for now. And there's the text or the text upload or the manual uploads. Then we implemented with CDX at the end of 2018 an electronic way of doing it. And the division put up a competition, which Dr. Paul Murray won, to who's going to do the most. This isn't just Dr. Murray, this is all the people in the North that were uploading. Suddenly we're doing it with the easy button through CDX. And then kind of things waned a bit. And then what happened in March 2020? The pandemic.
Pandemic.
So this was April, and April uploads went through the roof. And what doctors in the north that were with MOAS and were doing care plans and summaries were going to the complex patients and buffing up the care plan, updating it, making sure the meds were right for the doc at 2 o'clock in the morning and emerge with somebody with an advanced respiratory arrest and whether they should be intubated or not, and what their meds were, what they should be on, or if they were in a fire or being evacuated later. That was a biggie. All the meds. What the hell meds are they on, right? Well, now you could just look it up in PowerChart anywhere in the north, wherever they landed. If they were evacuated from Williams Lake to Prince George, and you had a care plan, bam, there's your stuff. So it went way up, and then they got a lot of them done, and then things were really busy and hairy with all of the PP protective equipment and all the rest of it. And then it went up again. Well, this is what's that? That's Delta. So the Delta comes along, and now people are starting to get
Uh,
really worried. Holy
Delta
shit.
variant of COVID. Yeah.
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 So I'm going to go back and do some more and finish up what I didn't do over here or update what I did do over here, whatever. And then it went down, 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 down. And then boom, goes up again. What was that? Omicron. There's the pandemic curve. There's the care plan curve. It's an exact match.
Wow.
So it
That's
would be
amazing.
wonderful to show this to Bonnie Henry to say, you know what, you can probably abandon whatever it is that you're doing to generate pandemic curves. Just get the care plan curve.
Oh, that's amazing. I'll tag her in this. So, so
So hmm?
power chart. This mean is this all north and interior? Who's
This
doing?
is mostly Prince George, but I have different ways of looking at this that show that
Okay.
there are Fort St. John and a few other places are doing it, but mostly we socialize this, as it were, in
And
Prince George.
did you say that the hypothesis of why these spikes happen was because providers wanted to ensure that all the information was in there in case the patient had to go to a different facility?
Yeah, and it's further, or even to the same facility because they were here in Prince George and they suddenly got sick, and so even just coming to emerge, not even hospitalized, right? So that I mean, that's the whole point of all these uploads in the first place, is that people understand frail patients and their meds and their disabilities and all the rest of it,
So
and who
this
the care team is.
so this represents more presentations to care. Yeah.
This, no, I bet you most of these were done from the office with no encounter.
So this is just providers spending more time with their EMR, ensuring that their care plans were sent into the system
Yeah.
to maximize the chance of good communication between providers. Yeah.
Yes. And over here, they would be more likely to be in association with, say, the care plan and chronic disease management incentive fee work or or not that the fee is driving it, it's the need for that work. And you'll usually tell a patient, I'm going to upload this summary to a system where other people can see it if you ever they need to, right? If you're ever presenting for care. And that gives the patient an opportunity to say, I'd rather not have that done. But it is all done within the safety of a chart with access control and all the rest of it. So there are controls to ensure that when it's in the health authority system, that it's viewed only when you're needing care and somebody needs to look at it.
And
But
the awareness of the provider to start submitting these spikes of care plans, was that because of the communication channels within the division of family practice? Do you think that's what?
it happened spontaneously. It happened. This is, I think, a testament. If now, I'm glad you actually decided to start recording this, and we'll somehow do some magical insertion in there, maybe, because it's a testament to professionalism. This happened long before the longitudinal family physician payment. I'm suspecting that many of these were unpaid work, as it were. It was not associated with a visit, a billable visit. It was done to do it right. Now, there is a slide I have here, but I don't want to have it on fraud on the internet. It's been anonymized completely, but it still is enough information somebody might recognize it. But I have a snippet of a real letter from an intensivist in Prince George who wrote in the consult letter that Mrs. So-and-so presented at whatever with respiratory distress that led to respiratory failure. The nurses tell me that she would want to be resuscitated. But I thought that that was odd. So I went to the chart to see the care plan, which is in the banner of Power Chart, by the way. So everybody who's admitted in the North, anywhere, if there's a care plan, it gives you the date of the most recent one that's been reviewed by a doctor, and it's right there next to their name. So you can't miss it. So he clicks that, goes into the care plan, and he sees the advance directive by the GP and the conversation that happened that led to the directive of do not resuscitate. So he said, I went back and I called the family because the coordinates were there. And we discussed it and we all agreed that the person should be removed from life support. She was moved to the ward and passed away peacefully 12 hours later. When I read that, I had goosebumps because that's how was intended to play out when we first started this journey of looking at clinical summaries and way back. And then started, these uploads in orange actually started in 2009.
Wow.
So a lot of history of people recognizing the value, having the availability at all points of care in the North, because pretty well all providers, even back in 2016, had access if they needed it.
Thank you, Bill. You've told us the story of this data, and you've told us about the power of interoperability of the transmission of the patient's voice through the data when the patient couldn't speak themselves, to share their wishes, and which resulted in a better hopefully a better experience for the patient and their family, and also a better experience for the system overall. That's beautiful.
And the providers.
Yeah.
When you're shooting in the dark, as you know, it's horrible. You don't know, you feel like I could be making some mistakes here, but when you have more data, you still got to be on your guard and you still have to look to see what was the date on that and everything. But boy, it's sure better than nothing.
Yeah. When we know the will of our patient, when we know our patients, everything gets easier. Yeah. The ambiguity is much less. It melts away, and your direction becomes more clear.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you again for sharing. I'm going to stop recording now, and we're going to continue this discussion another day.
Okay.
Thank you.